Ми зробимо запис для учасників, які не можуть доєднатися. Дехто нам писали, що в них зараз робочий час. Дякуємо вам за те, що ви взяли цей час на себе і приділити його для того, щоб попрактикувати з нами медитацію. З нами сьогодні буде монах Пасура, я його зараз представлю, ми познайомимося трішки. Перед тим, як ми почнемо, якщо ви хочете Якщо ви хочете слухати українською мовою, Ірина буде перекладати на українську мову. Іринко, в тебе є кнопочка Interpretation внизу? Я тебе не чую. Я тебе чую, вона, значить, в тебе є. Ось, дивіться, я вам зараз поділюся екраном і покажу, як вімкнути українську мову. Share. Ні, не то я поділилася. Stop share. Я вам пришлю скріншотик в чаті. На сьогодні якийсь некомп'ютерний день. Так, дивіться, ви заходите, вам видно мій екран? Так, ви заходите внизу, у вас тут є список різних функцій. Тут чат, учасники, пауза і внизу є interpretation. Там, оскільки немає функції українська мова, я додала китайську. Якщо ви хочете слухати українською, ви вибираєте Chinese, китайська. Якщо ви хочете слухати англійською, ви просто залишаєтеся тут і слухаєте англійською, як говорить монах. Там, де ви виберете Chinese, ви будете чути українську. Ірина буде перекладати якомога по можливості синхронно, і ви зможете чути на бекграунді, на задньому фоні монаха. І оскільки іноді я буду щось вставляти теж українською під час розмови монаха, чи на початку, чи всередині, чи в кінці, то я попрошу Ірину теж продублювати це. Скажіть, будь ласка, в чатику, так, зрозуміли, interpretation і вибираєте Chinese, якщо хочете українську. Іринко, скажи, будь ласка, якісь слова? Ні, спочатку в чаті напишіть, чи хтось слухає вже українською, чи хтось переключився на цей Chinese. Скажіть «да» чи покажіть пальцем. Так? Ні? Дякую, Олю. Я побачила, що ти пішла переключатися. Ірина слухає. Людмила слухає. Іринко, можеш щось сказати так, щоб Тетяна нам підтвердила, що вона тебе чує? Тетяно, ви чуєте? Добре, супер. Всі зрозуміли? Okay, so we shall start the event. Whoever wants to listen in English will stay in the English channel. Whoever wants to listen in Ukrainian will switch to Chinese in their bottom of their screen, where you can choose interpretation, and you have English or Chinese. There are only Asian languages in here. I think it's because our Zoom is from Thailand. Thank you so much for joining with us today. Today is a very special day. It's Earth Day. It's the day to honor our planet and to make an intention to protect it. And it is also a day in the temple where we studied meditation. It is the birthday of the person who shared this meditation with everyone, the abbot of this temple. And because of Earth Day, we want to share meditation with you. If you have never been to our sessions before, I want to tell you about our mission. In World Peace Initiative Foundation, we want to teach everyone in the world to meditate because we truly believe that your inner peace creates the outer peace around you. And because of this, if you start meditating, everything in your world will change. And I have some story how I started meditating, and Irina has her story how she started meditating, and we will share these stories with you gladly, but after you learn from Monk Pasura and after you get your answers for your questions. So thank you for asking your questions in the question form. We have chosen 3 questions that we will ask him, and then if we have more time, you can ask more questions. To get the best out of this workshop, please switch on your camera so we can see your face and we can see your reactions, and please answer your questions in the chat as much as possible so you engage. And when you engage, there is energy exchange and you can get the best out of this workshop. So now it's 1 hour for yourself to enjoy and to connect as much with your inner peace as possible. And I will give the word to Monk Pasura from Thailand, who has been a monk for 15 years. I met him for the first time in 2013, a long time ago. And then he told me something that I did not believe. He said that all the knowledge is inside us. And I was walking with a friend after this, and I said, no, this is some strange stuff he's talking about. Why do we go to school? Why do we go to university? I don't believe this monk. And later I practiced more and more and more, and now I can say for sure that all the knowledge is inside us, and our maybe hardest but most rewarding task is to tap into it. Monk Pasura has been to Ukraine 2 times. Maybe some of you have met him at the workshops he has done. If you have, please write in the chat. And Monk Pasura has traveled around 80 countries to teach meditation. He has also been a flight attendant at Thai Airlines. He has managed a hotel. He has played basketball. That was all before he was a monk. So he has so much experience and so much life experience to give you the best support and the best advice. And now I give the word to our Monk Pasura. Thank you for being here.
Hello, Dobry den. I think that's correct, right? Yeah, I remember only Dobry den and Slava Ukrainian. So this is 2 things I remember back from my time in Ukraine. So first of all, may I ask that how familiar all of you with the practice of meditation? So if you can put that into chat box, 0 will be 0 experience. 5 would be very mature. So I can see a bit how familiar or how mature you are in your practice of meditation. So I know whether how much I have to explain in terms of the technique itself. Okay, 2, 1, 3, 1. Okay, 4. Okay, in that case, I have some idea. Okay, so as Katie has shared with you that how meditation really help us to really find out answer within ourselves. One of it is being that usually we are never here. We are projecting in the future all the time, getting worries about what will happening all the time, or keeping projecting in the past and keep feeling guilty and being judgmental on ourselves. As a result of that, we don't really spend our attention at the moment, where we supposed to be putting our focus on things that will create our future. That is where meditation comes in. Meditation is actually, well, let me share the screen. Meditation basically means the development of mind or mental development so that the mind can reach the state of being still. And after it stands still, it will be peaceful and it will be focused. The mind has one feature. Anything that we focus on will be magnified. Imagine when you get very, very upset. Let's say you're driving your car on the street and there was some crazy driver in front of you. and you just focus on the act. Even though it's half an hour already, you're still getting upset by it, right? That's because you still fix your mind, focus your mind on the cause of the anger. But if you move your attention somewhere else, let's say you are having a really nice time with your family, and you focus on the conversation, the environment, the atmosphere of it, it feels very joyful. Whatever we focus on tend to magnifies, and it means the feelings and emotion that comes with it also will be magnified, will be enlarged. So that's the way it goes. As a result of that, we are able to put our mind or focus our mind on something more positive. It means we can stay more positive during the day, during our time in life. So that's where meditation comes in, because it helps training our mind to focus on positive aspect of life. And when I say the word mind, it doesn't mean the word heart or the word brain, because that is actually another feature. Heart and the brain are something else. Our heart, our brain are not the mind. The mind is consciousness. If you think of it, a computer, it would be like a software that will run it, while the brain is the hardware. The problem is that our mind loves to wander. When you are sitting right now in front of the screen, you probably think about different things already. What happened in Thailand? I wish I can go out. There's a lot of stuff keep going on. And when it goes on, it goes into the past and goes into the future, like I said before. So when it goes to the past and goes to the future, it comes with this guilt, this pain, this stress, this worry. So that's why there's a lot of guru trying to explain how important it is to be in the present moment. And that's what we're going to be doing. In order to meditate, understand two things about the mind. Number one, it thinks a lot. That one is the one that you know. And in night you cannot just sleep. You probably have 100 different kinds of thoughts, jumping around from your job to your relationship to your shopping list to every little thing, to your vacation. The worst thing is that you can't stop it. No matter how hard you try, it won't stop. Not only does it stop, it doesn't produce any answer or the outcome, even you spend the whole night thinking. That's what the mind is. The other feature is that our mind think only one thought at a time, meaning that we don't think two thoughts at once, but they keep jumping rapidly from one thought to the next. So let's make a little comparison of the mind with a little monkey. Our mind just like a monkey, that it does like to be still, and it's very, very hard to be controlled. It keep moving around all the time. That is our mind. Usually when we want to focus on something, we put the mind like putting the monkey in the cage. We force it. What happens when you force yourself to stay focused during your class? It's very tense, right? So you can't stay there for very long. Or when you're working, we try to focus on it, it gets really exhausted. That's because the whole time our mind with the monkey is struggling, try to get out. The easiest way is not to force the monkey to be calm, but to give him a little treat. So the technique will be give the monkey a banana. So that's what we like. When you try to draw the monkey to you by giving him a banana, so the monkey will enjoy it and will slowly come to you on his own term. And little by little, you keep feeding the monkey. Finally, the monkey feels full and calm and happy. My point would be the mind is like a monkey. And all techniques of meditation are just banana. It's just a tool that helps the monkey to become still. So no matter why you learn meditation before, it shares the same goal and it has the same foundation. So the method to meditate is this. Usually our mind is crystal clear like this glass of water. But throughout the time, we have been putting ink into this water until it becomes very murky and clouded. And normally when we are wondering, thinking a lot, it keeps stirring the whole time. So the key to meditate is actually to do absolutely nothing. Just like you go into the cinema and watch the movie. So you just leave the water become very still, stop stirring, and let everything settle at the bottom of it. So to do so, don't take it as, oh, I'm going to be practicing meditation, take it very seriously and uptight. Think of it as just that I'm on a vacation. That is actually the way that can help your mind to calm down a lot easier. Most people say, I can't meditate because they think that the moment I close my eyes, my mind is going to be completely quiet immediately. Believe me, it won't. It will take some time. So whenever you think that you're on a vacation, you can hear the sound of the wave hitting the shores, you can feel the sunlight, and you just stay there and watch everything that's going on. Finally, your mind will slow down without forcing it. So that's what we really do in meditation. First, think that you are just on a vacation and take your time, chill out. It's not about doing anything meditation. It's about just like be watching and observing whatever is going on while you stay completely relaxed and comfortable. But of course, not to chill until you fall asleep, okay? The foundation of meditation lies on simple thing. Number one, recognize any thoughts or feeling. That's where the meditation technique comes. Whether you fix your attention with breathing cycle, visualization of the object, repeating words in your mind, body sensation, whatever you choose to recognize, just prolong your attention with the chosen thoughts. Finally, your mind will stop jumping between thoughts. It will jump, but it will come back to what you recognize again. Repeat that again and again. Finally, that wandering thoughts will be less and less. As a result of that, the key is to keep the balance between awareness and comfort. Aware is just that sense of being acknowledgement of your present. At the same time, allow yourself to feel as comfortable as you can. But too much comfort, you fall asleep. But it's okay, enjoy the nap. So, to start the process, take it step by step. Number one, adjust the posture. It doesn't matter you want to sit on the chair, or sit on the floor, on your bed, on your couch. So for me, I don't have the kind of, the one that you have to be in. Make sure that you find a sitting position that you feel very comfortable and very, very balanced. The one that you feel that I am settled right here. I don't have to force myself. I can just stay exactly like this for as long as I want. That is the best position for you. So if you're sitting on the floor, on a chair, fine by me. Close the eyes. We close the eyes simply just to block our mind from being distracted. So we don't have to close them very, very tight, but close them so comfortably so that you can feel relaxation go from your eyes to your face and to the entire body. And afterward, continue to relax the body from your head to the toe so that you can feel very comfortable. And sometimes it can be very helpful to imagine yourself sitting in the nature, going on a vacations, just like whatever you like. You can be on top of the mountain, on the beach, in the forest, wherever you feel like to. Just imagine you being that surrounding. It helps you to feel very calm and being at ease. And then it'll be a lot easier to slowly free up your mind. Slowly feel like you're blowing everything out. Whatever you have been suppressing inside, making you worry, concerns, feeling uncomfortable, irritated, let it all out, let it all out. Just like you slowly remove your backpack the moment you arrive at your home so that you can really feel the sense of freedom. And once you're able to free your mind, you will start to feel that space within yourself that we call center of the body. It is in the middle of the abdomen, so you can bring your attention right there and feel the sense of comfort within yourself. When the mind begins to wander, return to that point, return to your seat. Another few techniques that we usually do in order to keep it there, number one is called visualization. So you can choose to visualize anything like the bright object, could be the sun, the moon, the star, or anything that you feel comfortable with. The bright object is very easy because you can imagine the warm, sunny, shining bright sun within yourself at your center. Mantra that we use is Samma Arahang, which literally translates as perfectly pure. The mantra is mental recitation. So it works just like, imagine you go to a cafe and there was like really, really nice music in the background, and then you just sit there, enjoy a cup of coffee. You don't really pay attention to the song so much, but you just, feeling being so soothing with the sound of the song. mantra exactly like that. You don't have to be a singer. You don't have to be a soprano singer. Take it out loud. Just feel the sounds constantly echoing from within yourself. Or if you don't feel like doing anything at all, you just want to observe the feeling of comfort, the feeling of peace, just stay with it. Whatever it takes, as long as you feel balanced, at ease, and comfortable. The only hindrances that we usually have is wandering mind. The mind will start to begin to wander into different thoughts, and it seems like it doesn't stop. Don't worry about it, and don't try to fight it. Think of it like you're looking at birds flying by. When the bird comes, you can notice the bird coming right here to you, and just let it fly out. You don't need to ask, where you're going, where you're coming from, what you're going to eat for dinner. Because if you interact with the bird, it's just like you're feeding the bird. So the bird will love you and come to you and make a nest on your head. When the bird lay eggs, there will be so many birds afterward, which means that when we interact with our own thoughts, it tends to create more thoughts. So what we do with the bird would be just watch it, observe it, let it come, and let it go. And whenever we stop engaging with these birds, they will slowly stop coming in. That's the way we deal with the wandering mind. Just feel like you're sitting right here where you feel comfortable and relaxed. Stay with whatever you choose to focus on and observe whatever happens around you. Finally, everything will settle down. That's all it takes in the techniques of meditations at the beginning. So, okay. I covered it up already on the part of the basics, so I will just go into the practice itself, okay? And after the end of the meditations, go with the questions that Katie sent to me. Okay, cool. So before beginning meditations, if you can ask you guys to stretch your body a bit to be more comfortable. You stretch your arms, stretch your neck, your shoulders. Make sure that you feel really, really, really comfortable. Stretch your muscles so that you don't feel really tense. Now that you feel your body is becoming comfortable, then adjust your sitting posture. Whether you want to sit on a chair, on the floor. If you choose to sit on a chair, maybe at first you can put your feet flat on the floor so that you can feel more balanced. Keep your back straight, chin square. Raise both of your hands on your lap very comfortably. If you choose to sit on the floor, take your time to adjust your leg until you can feel that the blood circulation flow very comfortably without any obstruction. In the same way, to keep the back straight, your neck upright. Close the eyes very softly in the way that you don't feel tension around the eyes. And bring your attention back to be with your body. Let's start that with the observation of breathing. So feeling your breath as you are inhaling very softly, feeling the air past your nostrils. It goes down the airway until it touches at the end in the middle of your abdomen. Your breath slowly turns into warm out breath as you are exhaling all the way out. Let's inhale very deeply and softly, feeling the cool in-breath reaching down deep within yourself, feeling your chest open and your back straighten up. Exhale. Allow both of your shoulders to drop and rest naturally. Let's do that again. Inhale softly and deeply, feeling it goes all the way down to the end of your breath. And exhale, feeling that your entire body slowly settles into your relaxed and comfortable posture. Let your breathing cycle return to normal. And gently move your attention to observe your sitting posture from head to the toes. Please take a look that you are now in the most comfortable sitting position, the one that you really feel comfortable, the one that your blood circulation can flow smoothly from head to the toes. It doesn't feel like you have to force yourself. It feels so natural to you to be in this position. And if later on it begins to be uncomfortable, please feel free to adjust gently at any time. No need to force yourself sitting completely still. The first stepping stone into meditation is the body comfort. And that starts with having the comfortable posture. So please take your time to adjust your entire body. As you found that posture already, let us reinforce that relaxation by relieving every muscle from remaining tension. So let us bring attention to feel the muscle at the top of the head and relax the muscle there before move it down to the forehead. Relax the muscle around the forehead. Bring it down to the eyes, nose, and down to both of the cheeks. Relax all of your facial muscles before slowly move it to the back of your head and relax down to your neck. Slowly let that relaxation flow to your right shoulder, feeling it goes down along your right arm to your right hand, and feeling relaxation all the way to the tips of your fingers. In the same way, gently move it to your left shoulder and relax down along your left arm, elbow, down to your hand. Observe the sensation of relaxation at your fingertips. Now that both of your arms are relaxed, then slowly move it to relax your chest and down to the abdomen. Relax down to your legs, feet, all the way to the tips of your toes. Allow every part of your body to be so relaxed and comfortable, especially your facial muscles, your shoulders, and your hands. When our body is relaxed, it feels as if the body's weight slowly disappears and everything becomes light, hollow, and empty inside. As if our body is just like a balloon that is ready to float away. So take your time, as long as you want, as much as you need, to relax your entire body, from head to the toes. Imagine or picture yourself as if you are on a holiday, on a warm sunny day, where you can just enjoy sitting outside in the nature. Picture yourself being the surrounding of serene, beautiful nature. It could be anywhere that you like. It could be on top of the mountain, where you can see the green rolling hills all the way to the horizon. Or imagine yourself sitting by the beach, hearing the sound of the waves, gentle breeze, and the warm bright sun shining up high in the sky. Or if you feel like being by the lake or in the middle of the forest, imagine yourself at your favorite spot of your vacation, where you can take a day off from everything that is going on, from the crowd, from people, from every responsibility, and allow your whole body and mind to fully rest. Allow your entire body to be so relaxed. From here on, we are not about to engage with anything. We simply will enjoy the moment of peace and relaxation. So whatever is happening, let them be for the time being. Relax your entire body. Feel yourself be in the surrounding of nature. Allow yourself to enjoy that rest. Here where you feel so peaceful and calm. And free up your mind from any thoughts or negative feeling. Whatever it is that you have in mind, let them all out. Let them all go. Free up your mind from thoughts, from worries, or any feeling irritated, frustrated that you may have left in your mind. Don't need to fight with it. Bring your attention back to where you feel relaxed. And imagine as if you can blow all that negativities away. Slowly free up your mind from all negative feelings that you may suppress deep within. The more you can free up your mind, the lighter and more spacious your mind will be. Everything feels broad, weightless, and expand. If your mind begins to wander into thoughts or being distracted by your surrounding, whenever you realize that it got away, gently bring your attention back to be with your feeling of comfort, feeling relaxed. It doesn't matter how many times you need to bring it back. As long as you feel comfortable with it, that's good enough. So let yourself enjoy your peaceful vacation for your body and your mind. Normally, our mind always holds on to every matter. It keeps jumping around between what is holding on. But the moment the mind let go, it comes back to be within ourselves. And it comes with this feeling freedom, that everything is so light, open, and expand. It doesn't feel trapped or tight. It feels as if this whole surrounding space is my personal sanctuary, where there is no disturbance. So let your mind be still right here with this feeling comfort. Bring it back here again and again, back to feel at ease, back to be comfortable. Whatever happens, let them be. When you are able to be relaxed, you will notice that your attention is back here with yourself. So we can slowly bring it down to our center, the point in the middle of the abdomen, where our mind can rest comfortably. Imagine feeling your mind at your center, feeling so rest and at ease. Slowly bring your attention back inside, back to the space within your body, in the middle of your abdomen, where you can find that open space within yourself. So gently rest your mind there, still, steadily. Feeling that sense of emptiness and peace here within your center space. We can keep our attention here by visualize a bright object, like the sun or a full moon. So imagine that there is a shining bright sun, just like the sun in the sky, with its light, warm, and comfortable. Feel that bright shining sun at the center of your body, at the point where your mind rests so comfortably. Keep it right there, still, at ease and comfortable. Keep it still with the sun. Let it shine so bright. Its light is radiating, so soothing. The sun inside represents your mind standing still. The key to meditation does not require any action. It is when we disengage with external matter, and automatically the mind comes to be still. When the mind stands still, it brings clarity, and everything becomes at peace once the mind is clear. Feel the sun radiating at your center. Allow your mind to rest so still. If the sun changes to something else, continue to observe it. Allow yourself to feel that space continue to expand. And the sun within yourself continues to shine so bright and comfortable. Just like being on a vacation. Let it be still, steadily. Stillness bring clarity of mind, bring better understanding of life and what's going on around. We will be less judgmental, more optimistic, more hopeful. This character is healthy for the mind, is involved with feeling happiness, peace. Now as the mind fully settled inside, it feels so much energy But that energy is so peaceful. The feeling warm within yourself is your peace energy. So as you gently press your attention at the center of it, it expands wider, brighter. Feeling that sun within yourself slowly expand, sharing this light, this comfort with everyone around. Feeling that light expand throughout your neighborhood, the whole city, the whole country, and the rest of the world. Sharing with them our positive intention. May our living being be free, free from sadness. May all of the life live in happiness, peace. Continue to share this peace energy all around, above and beyond. Just like the sun, selflessly giving its light, our mind sharing peace and loving kindness to all living beings, creatures around the earth. May the seed of love and compassion grow in the heart and mind of everyone. Sharing this light to your family members, your loved one, your friends, whether they're deceased or alive. Feel them at your center, sharing them with this peace. And now that your mind are comfortable, slowly bring it up to the surface. Slowly acknowledge your sensation, the feeling on your face, your arms, and your hands, the sound that you hear, the scent that you smell, feeling your breath as you are breathing in softly. Let it go deep around and touch your center. And exhale, letting it all out. Let's breathe again. Take it deep and long, all the way to the end of your breath. And exhale, let it all out. Let's try that again. Breathe very deeply and softly. And exhale. Let it all the way out. Let your breathing flow in and out comfortably. And slowly stretch your neck, your arms, your body. Stretch your neck, rotate it, your shoulders. And when you feel comfortable, slowly open your eyes and stretch a bit more. Had a good nap? So that's the meditation part that you can see is more about taking one step back from all the action that we usually do with our mind, become more an observer. Observe whatever is happening until finally everything's settled. Actually, the nature of the mind can be within ourselves and it's no longer moving around. Okay, so if you share some experience, or you want to go to the question now?
I love meditating, so thank you very much for the meditation. And I went once to meditation retreat in Latvia, and I miss it so much in my life right now. So I'm really grateful now. I'm kind of back to the state, and I'm like, oh, why I don't do it every day? Thank you very much.
Let us invite everyone, please write down your meditation experience now in the chat. And this is not so much for us, but for you to reflect and remember how it was. As Tanya said just now, why I don't do it every day? We don't do it every day because sometimes we forget about our motivation. So when you write in the chat in Ukrainian or in English how you felt, you will anchor it for you to remind yourself, tomorrow I want to meditate. It was awesome. And please tell us in the chat, how long do you think meditation was? Tatiana said it was, it felt like an hour. Any other ideas? 30, 40 minutes. Okay, we will tell this to you after the questions to make sure you stay along. And we will probably have about 20 more minutes. If you need to go, we understand. If you want to leave your question in the chat, it's great. But of course, we want you to stay to the end, because in the end, I also have a special present only for the participants of the workshop. So please stay along. And let's start with the first question, Lompi. I think it was the most common question that half of the participants asked. What is the meaning of life and how do I find it?
I love the word present, because the word present also means current moment and also means a gift. Basically, life is an opportunity, is a gift. It is a gift that you already have with you, but it depends whether how you want to use that gift. If you want it to be more useful, not just to yourself, but to people around you, it also means you also can share that gift and make it more fruitful. I used to ask my master a lot about this one because it's a question that people ask all the time. Actually, that one and the one that, what is the meaning of happiness? So my master answered that the meaning of life is to find unconditional happiness. The kind of happiness that it doesn't depend on who I am, what I have, but more about just how I kind of fulfilling myself. So that's actually the difference, because the concept of happiness kind of get twisted along the way. People usually think that the more I have, the more I'm happy. So that's why I feel like I have to keep adding up on myself all the time, you know, having jobs, bigger house, better car, travel the world. It's always about someone, something, somewhere in order to make me feel happy. But that's actually not the happiness, it's more like a pleasure. A physical pleasure that will just, you know, that we get that rushed. And it's like each time we got it, it feels like we are on top of the mountain. It's like, I got a new car, I feel so bliss. But then afterward, after you are on top of the mountain, there is no way up. It's keep going down. So, you know, things that you have just, you know, get bored after a while. So you want that rush again. So you get to have to keep struggle like this. Not to mention that we also compare with other people, you know, the social standard that we're trying to fit in. So all of this make us struggle until we get to look at what is really matter for my life. And when we look at life, it's actually a lot simpler. The first thing is, of course, survival is the simplest thing. And number two is that joy that we have, that joy doesn't really come when we take it. That joy actually comes when we give it. And that's why the concept of happiness is something that doesn't depend on external factors or conditions, but it's something that when we are content with who I am. And from that, it's like no matter I'm on the foot of the mountain or in the middle of it, but it's a journey that I'm keeping going up to it. So for me, if we can start to look at life, what is really the meaningful of it, not just what we have been taken, you know, what being told for a lifetime, because that is different. I used to believe that you guys, it was study, you know, I was like you guys, I study in schools, I work, you know, everywhere. I used to, you know, travel around the world. I do that just like what you did, you know, party a lot. So, you know, back in the college, my part-time job was a DJ in the bar. So that's pretty much how hard I party. So that's why I realized that it was like, you know, everything was like, you get to have to study hard, work hard, enjoy life to the fullest, save money, buy house, buy cars, and, you know, hope to die, have kids. It was like kind of checklist. So we keep doing this checklist all the time, but that's not really how we live. Life is not a checklist. It's not like a shopping list that you just keep adding on stuff. So that's why I started to, when I became a monk, I didn't even want to stay longer than 4 months, to be honest. And when I was a monk at the first time, the training was really tough. The monk was living in a tent. And the monk's tent is not a camping tent that you know. It's like an umbrella with a mosquito net, with a pole that you have to tie it. So I can only use half of the umbrella. So imagine, you know, half of umbrella. It's just like no umbrella. And I got nothing. Everything was taken away. I just got the box with only a few pieces of cloth, books, toiletries.
І кілька речей з одягу і все. Перші кілька тижнів це було божевілля. Я не можу жити так. Але я пам'ятаю, одного вечора
Longer. I remember I got up in the middle of the night and suddenly everything felt really quiet. Suddenly, I just don't have anything in my head, nothing to worry about. It doesn't matter who will look at me, who see me, who judge me, who think about me in any way. It doesn't really matter. And from that, you know, sense was like, wow, I have never been so quiet in my life before. And it was just so quiet, so calm. And that I realized that when I have nothing, I enjoy life a lot more. So instead of worry about what I have to be, I can be whatever I am, and you know, feeling content in every steps. So if you want to start off, you know, make a meaning of life, for me, start off by not taking it so much. Started to make it more fruitful just for people around you. And you started to see that when you put in that action, it just gives you that joy.
Thank you for sharing. Guys, if you have any questions as we go, please drop them in the chat and we will see how many we can answer. And the next most popular question was how to stop worrying.
Honestly speaking, we won't stop at all, to be honest. But we're gonna be, you know, worry less and being friendly with it in the long run. That's actually what's going on. Let's look at the cause of worry. Humans always live in fear because we don't know. We born with zero knowledge. You know, the same questions why what you ask the meaning of life. It's a question that every human being asks since the beginning of time. And they continue to ask for 1,000 years in the next 1,000 years. Because we don't know anything when we are born. Everything that we know, we learn later. And how can we know that everything that we learn is correct? It could be wrong as well, right? So that's why when we fear, we be afraid of something, we suffer. So we want to secure our future so that we don't feel suffer. So that's make us worry about future all the time. Worry coming from trying to predict our future. It has to be like this. It has to be like this because I don't want to face suffering. That's why I stock up my money, stock up food, you know, all of that. And that makes us worry all the time whether I have enough, I have enough, I have enough. As a result of that, when you keep projecting the future and creating these scenarios, it will make you feel excessive worry because you focus on the result, how thing has to be. And that's why it always brings up this sense of worry. Of course, when we are working, we want, let's say I'm a salesperson. I want my sales target to be like this. I expect it to be like this. And then I focus on the outcome and make me stress out and worry. But no matter how much I try to control everything, it doesn't mean that I can make it happen. I can only put the best effort, be very articulate, take a look at very detail and do my best. And there will be unlimited factors that we can't control. Like for example, right now, the whole world is on global epidemic. Who would predict this 2 years ago that everything is going to be shut down, we can be seeing each other through this little screen? Nobody predict that. But then if we keep projecting in the future, when this thing happen, we just can't take it. And it makes us feel very full of pressure, unable to deal with the situation, can't adapt to it, stress out. Reality of life, nothing lasts forever. Nothing is predictable and nothing is under our control. If we focus on the process, set the long-term goal, and started to focus on each process, one thing at a time, while looking up how long how far I am on this journey to reach it. that will finally help us to worry less and less. We turn that worry into the energy that focus on the process, because that process of the present is what make the future.
Thank you, Lampi. Якщо у вас ще питання, пишіть, будь ласка, в чатик. And the last one of the three that we chose was how to make meditation regular.
You know that whenever I brought people not from Thailand to see my master, the first thing he asks is that, do they know they have the mind? Very weird thing to ask for me. And every single time he kept asking that, I was like, what is going on? And I really take a look, it's like, oh, the reason is that people don't always realize that they have the mind. For us in Asia, in Asia's culture, the philosophy goes that the mind is a completely different entity. It's something that, can get dirty, can get wander, can moving around. It's something that need to rest, something that need to clean from time to time. So when we talk about concept of the mind, that's how we look at it. So whenever we don't realize that we have something, then we don't really take care of it. Let's put it in this way. Even you have your car, you have your car, you don't always look after your car. Even you have your body, you don't always look after your body. But if you don't even realize you have the mind, you won't look after it at all. So first thing first, if we don't realize what we got, we don't pay attention with it. Number two, every single moment of our life, we use our body and our mind all the time. So as much as you love your body, your mind also needs the same care. It needs to rest, it needs to be clean from time to time. You need vitamins. So if you notice that meditation is actually this treatment, it's like a spa that you give to your mind. So you can be refreshed, can restart again, you can, finally freshen up, and you will put the importance on it. But the hard part will be a lot of time people make it hard to meditate. For example, it has to be this time, it has to be this condition, it has to be in the nature, it has to be 30 minutes, it has to be 1 hour. Of course, it takes a lot of willpower. So the key to it is to make it easy. Think of it like an exercise. Let's say if you want to start working out, I have a goal to run 10 kilometers every day. So what do? I will buy my shoes, buy the whole clothing. The next day I get out of the house, I run 10 kilometers. And I came back, I became so exhausted, right? And the next day it was, I'm too tired. Today it was still aching, my body is still in pain. Well, maybe I wait it out for next day. And then 2 days, and then 3 days. And then my sneakers become a memorial. That's what is going on when we push too hard at the beginning. It takes a lot of willpower to do it. So just the same exercise, instead of trying to start up with running 10 kilometers, try to do push-up 5 times a day before going to bed or after get up. So do just like that with the meditation. 5 minutes before going to bed, disconnect your phone, disconnect from your tablet, sit on your bed and close your eyes. Allow yourself to disconnect from everything on the outside so that you can reconnect with them. Just to close your eyes, reflect what's going on in the day, feel your presence of your surrounding until you feel more relaxed. It could be just 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the beginning, and then lie down and continue to sleep. And then after get up, sit on your bed for another 5 minutes just to strengthen the feeling of peace right after get up. And then if you can do many times in the day, it could be just a minute or 2 minutes before you start your meal, before you start your car, before you begin your work. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, feel your surrounding, feel your center, and then open your eyes to do whatever you're about to do. So in this way, you are restarting, you're resetting yourself before every activities. In this way, you will notice that meditation slowly become part of your life. And then in certain point, if you can make it longer in any time, that will be great for you. And this way, you don't really feel like you have to force yourself and take a lot of effort. Because we always have one excuse, I don't have the time. Mm-hmm. There is no such thing as I don't have the time. You always have the time in things that you want to do.
Thank you, Lampi. І хочу поділитися з вами до цього питання, якраз те, чим я хотіла поділитися. Ми теж з Іриною багато разів починали медитувати, кидали медитувати, потім пробували зробити це звичкою, потім в нас не виходило. І ми знаємо, наскільки це не просто нову звичку для себе створити в житті, і тому ми придумали таку в перший раз в житті українською мовою марафон з медитації, таку акцію з 11 по 20 травня, і ми хочемо вас дуже запросити на цей марафон. Ідея в тому, що ми щовечора зустрічаємося о 7 годині вечора за Києвом, і ми разом, Іринко, мені здається, хоча не знаю, скажи там, щоб переключились на цей канал, може, хто тебе слухає. В чому ідея? Щоб мати підтримку і якийсь рівень комітменту, якийсь рівень відповідальності перед собою. Що ось я заплатив за марафон 500 гривень, бачите, я сказала 500 тисяч гривень, насправді він вартує 500 тисяч. І у вас є група людей, в групі завжди все легше робити, під підтримкою когось теж все легше робити. І ідея, щоб на 10 днів зануритися в медитацію із свого дому в Зумі і починати робити її звичкою. І якщо ви зробите це з нами на 10 днів, ви відчуєте на собі, наскільки це класно медитувати щодня, і потім у вас буде набагато більше мотивації. І оскільки ми знаємо, що цей марафон трошки від теперішньої дати трошки не так вже й скоро, то в нас для людей, які записуються на нього, є одразу 2 записи медитації українською, якою ви можете користуватися вже зараз, як тільки ви запишетеся на нього. І ми його хотіли зробити якомога більш доступним. Якщо ви порахуєте, то в нас після завтрашнього дня буде ціна 600 гривень, а зараз це 500 гривень. І якщо ви поділите це на 10 днів, то це 50 гривень, і це як чашка кави ваша, яка не обов'язково навіть вам допомагає підтримувати себе в формі і контролювати свій розум. А це насправді вправа, яка для вас супер корисна і дуже важлива. І дуже сильно хочу з вами поділитися своєю історією щодо медитації, просто щоб ви побачили, наскільки вона змінює життя і наскільки вона дуже важлива. Це для мене найважливіша звичка, яку я знайшла для себе. І вона почалася, звичайно, не з найкращої точки мого життя. У 2012 році я втратила кохану людину, він неочікувано помер. І я дуже зовсім не знала, що мені робити. І в той час я жила в Китаї і я працювала, викладала англійську, і на роботі одного дня я пам'ятаю цей день, світило сонце з вікна, і воно на мене посвітило, і я згадала, що я бачила десь рік назад цю програму онлайн. Це був 2012 рік, тоді не було багато онлайн-програм з медитації, і я просто кинулася вниз, поїхала велосипедом додому і сіла медитувати перший раз в житті. І я думала, що це мене врятує, тому що якщо в тебе такий стан неприємний, складний, уже кілька місяців підряд, то ти вже хапаєшся за все, що тебе може врятувати. І я сіла медитувати, і я потрапила просто в такий рай, тому що після коли мені щось так сильно боліло, я постійно чіплялася за цю думку, і я наче була вся зажата навколо неї. А тут я просто на півгодини відпустила всі думки, і я вже відчувала, що я як наче і дерево, і з небом я зв'язана. І, коротше, це був такий кайф, найбільше розслаблення мого життя. І тоді мені через кілька тижнів телефонує мій друг і каже: слухай, Катя, що це в тебе з голосом таке? Чого ти така розслаблена? Того, що всі знали, що в мене був складний період життя. Я кажу: ти знаєш, я почала медитувати. І я зрозуміла, що навіть мої друзі помітили цю зміну, хоча я 2 тижні всього медитувала. І після цього просто якісь дива почалися. А тоді я вже думала, мені стає трошки краще, життя налагоджується. І тут я дізнаюся, що мої батьки, які 25 років були разом, розлучаються. І для мене це було: о Боже, я втратила кохану людину, я втрачаю свою сім'ю. І наступний день в мене мало бути інтерв'ю з дівчиною, яка влаштовувала ось ці ретрити в Таїланді, бо я збиралася їхати в Таїланд. І я думаю, зараз в мене не той стан, щоб в якийсь там Таїланд їхати. Я їй не можу зараз сказати, що я не прийду на інтерв'ю, тому що вона вже час назначила. Я просто їй зателефоную завтра і скажу, що вибач, будь ласка, в мене така ситуація, в мене зараз багато проблем в житті, я не можу медитацією зараз займатися. І я пам'ятаю, що я беру трубку, і ця Мірела бере трубку, і вона мені говорить таким голосом: добрий день. І я чую її голос, і я розумію, що мені просто треба поїхати на цей ретрит медитації, тому що це найкращі ліки для мене, які зараз можуть бути. І я їду на цей ретрит з медитації, і зі мною там відбувається щось таке неймовірне. Я знайомлюся ось з монахом Пасурою, я від нього вчуся перших своїх якихось кроків до свідомості. І це дотепер найкраще, що зі мною сталося. Я після того була на десь 25 ретритах з медитації. Ми з Людою влаштовували вже скільки 2 чи 3 ретрити в Україні. І медитація просто повністю змінила моє життя. Вона наче розширила мою свідомість. І я зрозуміла, що не дивлячись на те, що в мене там, наприклад, щось болить сьогодні, в мене є холодильник, в якому я можу тримати свої речі, в мене є світло, в мене є інтернет, завдяки якому я ось із 20 людьми зараз в Зумі. В мене є підтримка із Таїланду в якості монаха Пасури. І так багато всього є, і вона просто переключає свідомість, і ти вчишся фокусуватися на тому, що ти хочеш створити у своєму житті. І тому я вас хочу зараз запросити, як таке завершення цієї зустрічі, будь ласка, поки ви тут, поки ви у спокійному, класному дусі, напишіть в чаті, що ви хочете створити в своєму житті. Щось одне, нехай це буде одне речення, нехай це буде одне слово. Я хочу створити спокій, я хочу створити, не знаю, нову квартиру для себе. Все, що завгодно, неважливо, чи це абстрактне, чи матеріальне. Просто напишіть, будь ласка, для того, щоб це знову ж таки заякорити в собі. І поки ми медитували, я теж, це про подарунок. Звичайно, ми дуже будемо раді бачити вас на марафоні з медитації, і ми вам продублюємо цю інформацію зараз в емейлі. І щороку, з тих пір, як Люда це придумала, з тих пір, як ми в хаті майстерні перше зробили ретрит медитації українською мовою, ми робимо, навіть це для себе, якби ретрит. І ось цього року я теж в Карпатах зроблю ретрит, називається «Звички щастя». 2 роки тому на цей ретрит приїхала Ірина, і ми з нею сиділи і говорили, вона каже, ой, хочу, мабуть, викладати медитацію, але не знаю, як це станеться. І ось вона тепер викладає медитацію вже рік, і вже стільком людям навикладала. Тобто це магічне місце, там, де щастя стає справжнім, там, де ви берете його в свої руки і самі створюєте. Я під час медитації хотіла для вас якийсь подарунок запропонувати за те, що ви сюди прийшли, за те, що ви подбали про себе, за те, що ви тут є. І зараз цей ретрит вже коштує, здається, 6400 гривень, але я вам хочу всім, хто тут є, тільки якщо ви тут є, я зробила скріншотик. Якщо ви запишетеся і заплатите депозит до завтра, то це буде коштувати 5800 гривень, і депозит це всього 2000 гривень, і коли ви приїздите туди вже на місце, ви оплачуєте решту вартості. Тож це мій подарунок до вас, до Дня Землі. І ще я сьогодні перепутала День Землі, це завтра, а не сьогодні. Тому завтра, будь ласка, теж медитуйте і святкуйте День Землі. І мій подарунок до вас на мій день народження, який буде в п'ятницю. Як сказав монах Пасура, найкраще, що ми можемо робити в житті, це давати і дарувати. І для мене це теж найприємніше. І тому я вам дуже вдячна за те, що ви тут є, для того, щоб ми могли вам це подарувати, а ви потім могли передати це комусь іншому. Ось. І, будь ласка, поділіться в ваших соцмережах і затегайте мене або Ірину в Фейсбуці про воркшоп. І якщо ваші друзі зацікавляться, ми можемо вислати їм теж запис медитації з монахом. Lumpy Pasura, I'm sorry for speaking English for Ukrainian for so long. It was some technical details. Do you want to answer one more question or maybe share something with the participants to wrap up?
Whatever you like, I can answer one more question and wrap up.
Друзі, у вас, можливо, є іще якесь запитання наостанок? Ви можете закинути його в чат зразу, зараз.
Там есть вопрос от Ксении в чате.
Ксенія, чи може медитація допомогти... Can meditation help with insomnia? What are the best practices?
There are actually a lot of researchers that said meditation can help a lot. First of all, there are many cases of insomnia. It could be hormones, it could be psychological problem. So when it comes with the psychological problem, meditation can help a lot. So usually when we can't sleep, there are so many thoughts that keep lingering and we can't shut down that brain, right? So that's why we can't fall asleep very easily. So I find the techniques of meditation that incorporate both visualizations and mantra at the same time can be very helpful with sleeping. So you can start, by sitting on your bed for a bit. You can visualize something very, not too bright, just like the full moon or like a star. At the same time, just continue to repeat the mantra, but try to keep hearing the mantra. And then until finally at one point, you can lie down a bit and continue to do that. Just feeling as long as you can hear the mantra. For me, I realized that I did a little bit challenge. I tried to keep the mantra 100 times and never get there. Always lost in between and fall asleep before that. So that would be something very helpful. The mantra that I use, I think it could be working for you guys too, because the mantra is samarahang. Sometimes it's not even in my language, it's the language in my text, which means perfectly pure. So sometimes when we use the word, it doesn't really carry much meaning, so it doesn't carry too much interpretation as well. So, use something like Soreen would like, that's going to be very helpful. So samarahang will make it really soft sound, soothing kind of way, so that it can kind of sounds like a lullaby for you guys.
Zompi, just one last question. What do you, because they repeated and I know that the girls want to hear your answer, what do you think about ayahuasca ceremony? It's really interesting to hear your opinion.
I'm being very honest, okay? In Asian philosophy, the body and the mind are not the same elements. The body is physical element, earth, wind, water, fire. The mind, you can call it soul, you can call it spirit. It's completely different elements, which means any substances that we take for physical element, it doesn't go to the spiritual element. And what we call as the mind or consciousness is a spiritual element. It's something that's very refined. Although these two work together, the mind and the brain works together. The brain is like an office for the mind. For example, when we see something, we need an image to contact with the eyes, send to the brain, before transform the signal sent to the mind, become seeing. Which means when we started to have a feeling, the mind will trigger the brain to release certain kind of hormones in order for us to have different feelings or trigger different side of the brain. Although we can use substances and make it feel like that, to have the hormones or to be, trigger the brain to function similar to when we are able to meditate or attain high spiritual attainment. But the difference will be the mental clarity of it and the enlightenment process of it too. So I have to mention when people try ayahuasca, but all I can tell you is that you can't go to the ayahuasca process to reach this state of enlightenment, to getting deeper inside. It may make you feel for a certain amount of time to get that, but if you can learn to practice your mind to get that on its own, it will be something very permanent, and you don't have to rely on external sources. You can get that at anywhere at any time. And I think for me, that is the most important key to be more self-reliant too.
And do you believe in enlightenment when you no longer feel a separate person, but a part of global consciousness and no ego?
That's exactly the reason I'm become a monk. Because the goal of the monk is to reach enlightenment. But the terms enlightenment for you, for me, is a bit different too. The terms enlightenment in our concept is more, number one, to end the cycle of rebirth. Of course, you may not believe in rebirth, it's okay, but that's actually the first part of it. Secondly, the word enlightenment means awakening from ignorance. Just like I said before, that when we're born, we know nothing. The state of enlightenment is that the state when you are able to awaken from that state of not knowing, know everything, but it's not just knowing, it's more like a realization of how everything is without hindrances, without any blocking. So you can get all the answer, from the past and future in one picture. So that's what's going on. To do that, it's going to your second question, which means we got to have to purify our mind over and over again. Remember the water with the ink that I explained as the mind. So that ink is something that clouded and has so many layers of it. And it clouded us from...
Щось, що має багато шарів, і щось, що нам заважає досягнути.
So as each time we're practicing meditation, each time we're keeping our mind stand still, each time with all this mental practice, it's like the mind getting filter. So everything getting filter one by one, until you get to the point where it's completely clean and purified. So that's what state of enlightenment is all about. Ego is one part of that ink. It's a kind of ink that we're already mixing it with. Usually what's going on with that is that I meditate, just like put it this way, when you go to bed and then get up after had a good night's sleep, your mind is very clear, right? You don't want to yell at somebody, you don't feel frustrated, you don't feel, angry or something. Imagine that feeling. And then when you started to go to your job, to your work, you're seeing people going on the traffic, everything started to change, right? Your feelings started to change. You started to get upset, feeling desire, feeling egotistic, jealous. So you see that the moment we start to engage with normal life, it started to come like that too. So the key is that how can we maintain the same state as I just get up, I just end meditation and carry on the whole day. That's when the enlightenment is all about. Then we are able to be like that all the time. So that verse is like. As a result of that, we are able to get in touch with something called collective consciousness. Katie, you mute.
Sorry. Thank you for your answers. Thank you for your guidance. Any more ideas in the chat how long we meditated? Anyone wants to guess? Yes, Inna is on the point. So sometimes meditation feels longer, sometimes it feels shorter. It really depends on your mind, and you will become more familiar with your mind and with your meditation when you continue practicing. We will finish this meeting, and we are really looking forward to see you at the meditation marathon, and I am really looking forward to see you at the yoga camp. It will be a pleasure to share this space with you and to support each other on our journey. Thank you very much, Lumpy Pasura, for your presence.
Maybe at last I can share a little bit of something.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sometimes we want to have answer. And there are sometimes that even a lifetime we may not find it at all. But the problem the key would be, how can I still embrace my ignorance and live happily with it? I know that it's kind of fear to not knowing what my life is all about, what is the meaning, what the essence of it. And even until the last moment of my life, I may not know it at all. But at least one thing I know is that every single moment is like a gift that I just told you already. And since life is always uncertain, if you go to sleep tonight, you can't guarantee whether you're going to get up. And if you don't get up, it means today is going to be the last day of your life. And if you know beforehand today is the last day of your life, what would you do? What will be something that really matters to you? What would be the last thoughts or feeling you want to have with you? And that is something can happen to anyone at any time. So at least from time to time, if you have a little reflection of this reality of life, that every moment can be our last. You can look at life in different ways. All the material, all the checklists that we have before will started to become meaningless. And we started to look at different kind of joy in life. And it is not the joy of taking, but it's the joy of giving. The joy of being something else beyond just enjoy the pleasure that I have come true. And you don't have to believe me. Take the reflection itself, and then you started to see what really matters to you. And the thing answer will come to you on your own.
Thank you. Друзі, дякуємо вам за ваш час теж. Чекаємо вас на наступних подіях. Будь ласка, напишіть пост в соцмережах про те, як ви сьогодні помедитували. Відмітьте мене або Ірину. І чекайте від нас імейл зі всіма новинами, або копіюйте ці посилання із чатику і доєднуйтесь до нашого марафону медитацій. Все, до зустрічі на наступних подіях. Дякуємо вам дуже. Thank you, Lamti.